Good question. I feel like what ended up happening is that it was those 30 losses came from like three series of sets
Mm-hmm.
that I did with my friends. We were doing together. I feel like at one point what ended up happening is like, no, we gotta play for a win, right? And then we would just like keep losing like three in a row.
Yeah.
Um, at one point we're just like tilted off our brains, but like we still wanted to keep going, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
so
Makes sense. Well, I'm sorry to
yeah.
hear that. I'm really sorry to hear that. Hope stuff has been going at least better recently, you were saying.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it still blows to go from GM4 to whatever I am now, Diamond 2, Diamond
Yeah.
1.
Yeah. It happens. But you
But
did get the GM.
yeah, I did end up getting there. So
Yeah, I had
I
a. Let me actually send this to you because it's technically unlisted, but I think you will enjoy this. Maybe learn a little something from this. Give me a second. Let me send it to you. So I had a session not long ago where a player was kind of going through that kind of inconsistency. Maybe something to check out when the review's over. But I'll give you the quick Spark Notes version. It's basically like I think a lot of the match, ignoring the inconsistency that comes from being tilted and confident and all that kind of stuff. I do think the matchmaker tries to adjust a lot faster than it ever has in the past. So
Mhm.
if you're on a loss streak, you start losing SR really fast. And vice versa. So if you're like GM, you said GM4 was where you were.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna be honest. I would be surprised if you were GM4, like actual skill level.
Right.
What probably happened is that you got on a win streak where you were confident, playing well, whatever, maybe a little bit lucky. And because the stat, I don't know exactly how it did in Overwatch 1, but this however they did MMR, I think I swear they not say that they used to incorporate stats with MMR, right? Back in the day, a little bit. Um,
Mhm.
so it wasn't just wins and losses. So it meant that it was harder to go in these crazy wins and loss streaks. But now it's like it's very sensitive to if you're winning a lot of games in a row. It thinks you're a Smurf, basically.
Ah.
So it's going to skyrocket you right up, and then it's going to skyrocket you. Well, ground rocket you right back down again if it feels like you're not playing well.
Right.
So that's just how it's going to be. So obviously, just kind of keep that in mind moving forward. For you, you might be somewhere in like the Masters 2 area.
Mhm.
Um, which would be kind of smack dab in the middle. So don't get too upset if you go down, and don't get too pumped up if you go up. It's just obviously focusing somewhere in the middle, I guess.
Right. Yeah, and that's how I'm treating it right now. I'm kind of treating it as like a like a quick play plus at this point. Like the
Yeah.
good thing about the ranking too is like I can get a little bit silly in my games, which I don't know it's a good thing, but like I've been trying to like force other heroes like Rhine or just to
Sure.
have them there.
Sure. Sure.
Because right now I'm climbing really quickly out of diamond.
Right. Right. I mean, it's however you
So
want to handle it, right? However you want to approach it, it's totally up to you. Just practice is practice, right? I think the only
right.
bad part about ranking up too fast is the games get too challenging, and that can hurt your confidence when it's really just that you're a little bit inflated. And then getting too low, it's the opposite, where it's like you're not challenged enough, and so you get a little bit too cocky, or maybe the practice itself is like it's just not a good lobby for you. It's like it's just too easy to do things that you're not even trying. It's just like easy. So would prefer to try
Yeah.
and be more consistent, and that's where like the individual factors like not tilt queuing or making sure that you're consistently playing every day, like those are the kind of things that you can kind of make sure to at least make sure that your training schedule is a little more consistent. But yeah, nothing that you haven't already heard me talk about a million times, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, let's look through the form. So, I mean, obviously, repeat session. So we can go over anything in the form that you want to go over, questions. But for the most part, we can just go right into gameplay if you'd like. It's up to you.
I mean just yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a lot about the things that we've talked about. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the more sessions that we go through, the less there is to like learn,
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote.
There is. Yep.
So I'm not expecting to learn anything new necessarily. Just like hoping that you are able to tell me like, hey, you're doing a
Sure.
good job, you're going on the right path with
Sure.
these. I gotta say though, the fact that these games are like a bit diamond, they do feel like it too. So like I don't know if
Sure.
they're like too steamrolly maybe.
Sure.
Maybe I should have held
Well,
up. Um,
let's consider this then. So let's look at it with the goggles of things that you're working on in the past, the target priority, the map control, and things like that. But at the same time, we can go. I was thinking about this actually this morning. I was thinking about our session. I was like, oh, it's gonna be. Is it Scythiel? I don't know how you pronounce your name.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Scythiel. I
what
was like, all right, so Scythiel third session. So I kind of want to talk about more mechanical stuff, some more micro stuff. So that might not be like the most biggest, lowest hanging fruit, but just to kind of keep things fresh and interesting, and also have an opportunity to kind of learn a little bit more, if that works for you.
that's incredible. I like that. Yeah,
I just think
especially.
I think it'd be like just more fun, right? Like because like honestly, it's like the fundamentals matter a lot, but you've had the fundamentals hammered at, and as long as you're continually revisiting the fundamentals, and we will, I'll point them out. I'm not going to pretend if your timing is bad or your map control is bad, but I'm not going to sit here and teach you about why that's bad. You should already know by now, right? So instead, I will talk a little bit more about like the new stuff that might be interesting and worth knowing.
Right.
Whether that's Winston, DVA, whatever the case may be. Okay. Anything you want to go over in the forum? Any questions? Stuff you want to discuss before we actually get rolling?
I feel like no. I feel like I actually wanted to mention that a mechanics aspect to you as well because
Sure.
it does feel like whenever you are or whenever I am plateauing a little bit in that because you cannot keep coming back to like fundamentals every time to like
Mm-hmm.
um whenever I'm going through like these huge streak losses and all that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
at
Yeah.
one point, I gotta put in the work and actually, get the results myself.
Right, right.
So
Well, let's put it this way: like the fundamentals will never not be needing to be revisited. I guess is the point.
right.
I mean, even in my own play, I find myself having to refocus on the fundamentals. When I was coaching Overwatch League players, the vast majority of the mistakes that they were making were fundamentals. Because the funny thing with Overwatch League players is they check all the little boxes a lot of the time. They get all the micro right. They get all the 1v1s right because they're just freaking amazing at the heroes that they're playing. But they don't understand. They're not as good at executing on the macro fundamentals, at least consistently. They do it obviously because they're good players, but they don't even realize it or think about it. So when things weird happen, they sometimes forget. So you will always need to revisit the fundamentals. Every VOD review we ever do, we will revisit the fundamentals, but we don't have to spend there teaching you about what the fundamentals mean or why they're important. If anything else, it'll be a
Right.
slap in the face with a big splash of cold water. Just, hey, wake up. Remember, this is what you need to be focusing on. Even if it's just for that day, one day a week, I revisit and I focus on the fundamentals. You will never need to you'll always have to revisit fundamentals, right? Because
That makes
fundamentals are like, they're not just important, but they're also difficult to master, right? So I guess, don't feel too bad about having to revisit fundamentals. I just don't want to bore you out the wazoo because every single time we talk, it's about timing or something so stupid like that.
That makes sense.
So we haven't talked as much about Winston. How's the volume level for you?
I can hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Winston, why Winston? What's Winston strong at compared to the Sigmas and Divas that we've reviewed before?
He's extremely good at trading backline
Yes.
and cooldowns in the
Yes.
backline. He's bubble. I mean, one of the best cooldowns in the game, if not
Yes.
the best, honestly.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Agreed. And that's it. Okay. So let's see.
also primal so good.
Yeah.
Well, and compare, I have the perspective of Diva Bomb, which literally does nothing.
Yeah. Even Flux, right? Like, I mean,
yeah.
Flux is really quite good in some circumstances, but there's a lot of circumstances where it feels really bad, right? So, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I'm convinced that the reason why Diva is not played more in Overwatch League is just Bomb. I think Bomb is like keeping her out of the meta. But yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So let's talk mechanics here. So obviously their comp doesn't really have like a clear dive target. So here's what you can do. You can still pressure and control backlines, but everything you do with Winston needs to be like min-maxing your mechanical output because like it takes game sense and decision making to actually use your mechanics with Winston. So what I mean by that is like you right now want to like get in and get a nice clean combo on this Kiriko. But the question is should you jump this? Should you walk? Should you use bubble? Should you target the Echo or should you target the Kiriko? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what's the purpose of this engage right here from a macro boring fundamentals side?
Well, my idea was like I pressure Echo here, Kiriko is forced to heal her because otherwise she just dies. That way, Ramacha won't get the support that he needs because he just pushed into my team.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep. Exactly.
so that was my entire idea. I didn't know they had a Sombra. Like I was actually wondering, like in the back of my head, I was thinking, "Where's the other DPS? Where's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
DPS?"
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
So I just like still
Sure.
went back to these two.
Sure. So then let's talk about mechanically optimizing it. And this is where the difference between you and, like, let's say a top 500 Winston is really going to come into play. Right here. What's the difference between you and a top 500 Winston? Because both of you should jump the Kiriko Echo. But then what is that going to look like mechanically? Target, priority, placement, jump, no jump, bubble, no bubble. What do you think? Ignore what you're going to do. Try and guess what the top 500 player would do.
Okay. So probably maybe jump to like right, like that sign with like the red and blue is because there's like some cover. Maybe don't use bubble right away because you full armor and these, yeah.
Sure.
And but then the echo just dashes out.
Is that a problem?
I suppose she doesn't have dash. Yeah. Yeah, like if she does that, then she like doesn't have her mobility for a while.
Sure. So here's what I'm thinking. You got one option is to turn the corner with right click, zap echo, jump echo, force shift. Then what do you do? Who do you turn your attention to then?
Kiriko.
Kiriko, right? So then what's Kiriko gonna do?
She's gonna TP away.
Right. And then what are you gonna do?
And then I just chill, wait for my jump, and then I think I go to the echo because I know she doesn't have mobility.
And what can you be doing while you're chilling, waiting for your jump?
Charging my right click.
Right, and popping them at the echo or Kiriko or whatever else you can. Now, I have another part of me that's telling me that I don't even think you should jump here at all, and not even engaging at all. Why? I'm not sure that that's the correct play, but it is a potential play.
That's what I was thinking actually, because looking at here, I think I saw the Mercy was looking for me. I have a corner, and like I can just zone them out. Like I don't even need to like engage on them. But maybe that's not.
I mean, you just being here means they can't do anything. Are the Echo and Kiriko doing anything right now with their position?
No.
So what do they have to do?
They have to like either engage with me or try to like dodge me somehow.
Right. So if they gauge on you, then you 1v1 them without having to use jump, right? If they don't engage you and try TP past or just fly past, okay, then now what does that open them up to?
Then they don't have their what could have been their potential defensive cooldown.
So then you dive them, and then what happens?
They just die.
So I don't know. Let's put it this way: if you're going to engage them, do it properly. So let's watch this in slow motion. Let's go about 0.5. We miss our right click on the corner, which kind of sucks. We don't jump, but we use our bubble. You see, I don't think this is good because would you get punished for using your jump here?
No, I wouldn't.
No, right. So then you're missing out on damage pressure here. This doesn't force shift. This doesn't force TP. I'm annoyed.
Right.
You're doing the equivalent of what you could have done by just sitting behind the corner anyway and not doing anything. You haven't done anything here.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And at the very least, at least you're charging right click, so we'll give you that credit. But see, even this, right? You are vulnerable now, aren't you? You don't have your bubble. The Echo is spamming you. This is a mistake. If this is any Echo of a higher rank, you're dead right now. Okay. So what should you do here instead?
Maybe go back to where the Ramatra is.
Or
just chill.
Just chill. Shoot right clicks at her. And if she starts to throw her stickies and focus you, then what do you do?
Then I jump away.
Then you jump away. Right. So you make her use her cooldowns and attention, but you're not punished for it, and you can shoot back. Then you disengage. Right? This is silly.
Yeah.
You are hitting your right clicks, though.
In my head, I'm like, oh, I need to mark her. I need to like quickly taps on her. The jump.
Yeah, it's just not good, you know? Because the whole point of the jump is for you to actually get closer so that you can zap her. Then she uses her shift, right? Then you right click, right?
Yeah.
Or you right click, force a jump, and then you jump on top of her, right? So in theory, you are controlling backline, but you're doing a terrible job of it. So I'm curious about your use of right click, the jump usage, whether you could just be passively controlling space. There's a lot of little micro variables that are kind of floating around in my brain. So I guess we could just kind of see how things go. But you see, when we focus on a little bit of micro, there's a lot to glean, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot to glean. It sometimes can be a little bit overwhelming. That's the only reason why we sometimes have to be careful.
And no, I mean, I personally really like it because like you know, I'm a speed runner, and like this is literally what it comes down to. Like whenever I would,
Ah,
when
that's right. I
when,
forgot about that. You told me. Yeah,
yeah,
that
so
makes
it's like
sense.
not necessarily like when I do like bond reviews. I mean, you
Yeah.
do kind of do that in speedruns, but like you gotta be like extremely picky with like that sort of thing.
Yep. And I think by like asking yourselves the question about could we have done it better or what would be the best way of doing it, it's like you kind of like learn more about the hero. And like if you think about that situation right there, yes, that was one micro individual interaction, but there's a lot that we can learn from that that applies to a lot of other situations with Winston, right? That's not a
Right.
one-time thing with Winston, right? Okay, so in terms of macro, timing, angle, what do you think?
Maybe I could have waited for them to push a little bit still.
But can your team see?
Them,
Yes.
uh, see, that's why I don't really know. I just kind of
Yeah,
jump here
I
because
would
yeah.
check because actually I think your
Mm,
timing is quite good.
okay.
So,
Yeah, the fire's engaging. Yeah.
and you want to generally go be the guy going first most of the time as well. You're not a
Yeah.
DPS. So, anyway, so okay, so macro is fine, but a little bit accidentally fine. Now, this is not fine. All
This is
right.
not.
So let's go back on the micro again. So macro is good enough. We're just gonna put it on a checklist. Where's my right click?
Yeah.
And
I
who
should, I
should you
should
be
be
targeting?
targeting. Tough. I think maybe the echo, so I can force the supports to go on her.
Too far away.
Too far away.
Too
Okay.
far away. Because remember, if you're gonna use the echo, you're gonna have to use jump, at least to get good pressure on her.
Okay. So either the Moira or the Mercy that are closer then.
Just we need a target that we can walk on and actually start zapping now, like right now. We need to be zapping somebody. So Moira Mercy, right? Enter with right click, then left click. Bubble should be used specifically to block whatever, but usually stickies, right? So in
Yeah.
terms of macro, this is fine. Right click here is good. We disengage Faro dice. But, or Ramacho dice, excuse me. But in terms of micro, not so good. Missing
Yeah.
our right clicks on opener, and we're choosing the wrong targets. Why is the Moira the better target over the Echo? Why was that my priority?
I mean, she's just the closest. Like, it's just the most biggest amount of damage output, I
Let me
guess.
ask you
Like,
one more question. Who is the target that we can actually kill if we force their mobility cooldown?
I guess Moira, yeah.
Moira or Mercy,
Moira,
right?
yeah.
Right. So even if you force the Echo's shift, it's good to force it, of course, but you can't. It's harder for you directly to do anything about that as opposed to the support cooldowns, which actually matter, right?
Right.
I like pressuring the Echo earlier because it was a Kiriko Echo. And you couldn't necessarily have pursued the Kiriko, right? Because you would have had to use jump to get on top of the Kiriko. So she's going to TP away and there's nothing to do about it. So I'm going to go for the Echo first. But this one, you're not using your jump. So if you force one of their mobility cooldowns, you can pursue. So you need to go for them first.
Right. Oh, after this, there's like a lot of like spaghetti that I'm not happy about it. But
I'm excited.
it's like, I get it. Oh, she got a kill big.
This is just misapplication of attention. I appreciate what you're doing, but you're not even looking at like what anything else is happening on the battlefield right now. Like if anything, who should you be right-clicking or jumping or pressuring right now?
The Mercy.
Yep, Mercy. It's a little far, but like there's nothing. You just know that whatever you're doing right now is just not permanent. Yeah, this is just stupid.
Yeah,
but it's whatever. It's whatever. Okay. I want to focus on the micro, but I want to focus on the micro when it was like actually relevant. That isn't just dumb mistakes, you know? Okay.
That makes sense.
So, a little micro thing here. Don't ever use your jump to get to a location usually that you can just walk to. So, if you can just walk here, it's going to allow you to, with more of an element of surprise as well, again, find the targets that you want to walk onto with a right click, then pursue with jump.
Okay.
Right. So your jumping here is fine. Like it is a good staging. And from a macros perspective, is our timing good here?
Yes. Because like the Ramatri's engaging.
That's it. I mean, just look at your fire, look at your soldier. I mean, you're going to be going first 99.9% of the time. So it's good.
Okay.
But angle's good as well. So macro wise, good, right? Just don't like how we did our engage. So from here, target priority. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean both supports are literally in my
good.
face, and yeah.
It's good. Now I'm gonna ask the micro. What do you see with your ammo here?
It's not really that low.
Hey, it's pretty low. You're calling
is
it
it?
a reload on your engage.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Because why were you reloading? What were you right-clicking before?
Ramatra.
Ramatra, useless, right?
Yeah.
You need the right-click on the actual engage itself or to poke out a DPS, not a tank. Useless. So here, also, no right-click being charged.
No right click, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So right-click right on here. You're going to drop entry, and you're going to commit on... I mean, I'm shocked that you did not commit on this Moira.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. You had your jump. You had your bubble. This is when we need to force fade or Valk beam on her, right? If you can get Valk beam on Moira, then you're winning this fight. You're winning this fight. Like, you need to go. Like, get in her face. I'm not sure what you're waiting for exactly here. Not good return on investment, right? Because what's she gonna do? She's gonna shift, and what are you gonna do about it?
Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna shift in, if anything. Like, there's actually nothing you can do here. So a little bit of your target priority, and then the mechanics of what you're doing with it as well. Because, like, I know you're thinking, like, I'm zoning Echo Mercy, and you are. But is that more of a good play by you or misplay by them?
Probably misplay by them, yeah.
There's zero reason for this whatsoever. This is just dumb. Yeah, okay. So let's keep going. I want right-click charged on entry, choosing the target that where you can actually force the most beneficial cooldowns, especially if those cooldowns are what's going to allow you to actually kill them with a pursuit jump. Because you have your Primal now. You should be thinking pursuit jump. Positioning? What do you think?
I like it because
like it
because we're about to go around the corner and I can just like drop for them. And I don't know why I'm right-clicking the wrong
macro. Terrible, right?
Yeah.
Terrible.
No. I don't even know why I'm picking at all, honestly.
I don't know why either. Timing?
I mean, I didn't check on my team, but I don't think we pushed the bot.
No, it's not perfect. Could be a little bit better, I think. If you were doing it in response to your Pharah, I'm fine. I don't know that you were. So macro here, your angle, good. Timing and your peaking, really, really weak. Target priority?
I think I saw the Mercy do movement shenanigans, so that's why I jumped her. Yeah.
Yep. But what's missing here micro-wise?
Right click.
Right. And obviously you missed the right click on the GA, but you're already at a point in time where your ammo is going to be a concern because of your right click management before the fight was starting. So you're not getting the right clicks when it counts, and you're right clicking when it doesn't count. Right?
Makes sense.
Okay. That being said, target priority is good. Bubble is good. Defensive coal is perfect. And now you honestly could just disengage if you wanted to. Yeah, this is fine. I wouldn't even eat stickies, honestly. I would just jump out. Like, you've already forced coal. You look at this and you're like, I ain't killing this, right? So just jump out. Just jump out, reset, try again. Because you've already done your job. You look at the Ramatra. Like, he's given up so much space. Just get out of there.
Makes sense. No, because this is just...
Yeah, that's okay.
We did force like 2 ults there, though.
Yeah, of course. And if you and your Mercy didn't misplay, you would have won that fight easily as well.
Yeah.
Diamond, man.
Yeah,
that's something else right there. I don't know what he was expecting.
He could have just run.
Okay, you're trolling.
Yep.
He's on top of you. I don't know what he's trolling too. Like, just zap him. Just zap him. You're gonna have to primal, because you don't have your bubble. But get him to 1 HP, force his copy, and then primal. Right. This is corny. Like, if he's better there, you're cooked.
Yeah.
This is fine. It's good, right? Yeah, looks good. Keep going.
Just vibing.
You know, I was supposed to do the charity cosplay with Witch Mercy as the second most voted thing, but I could not find a Witch Mercy outfit.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I couldn't find it. They were like all like ridiculously like several $100s. I was like, oh man, I can't do that. I was expecting something. I guess Overwatch isn't too popular, but yeah, it is what it is. Okay, you know, macro wise, this is pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie to you because I know where you're trying to go, but obviously like the cart just now gets here. Worst case scenario, you could have staged from here instead.
Yeah.
This would have been better just given the amount of time that you had. Because you're like, oh, it's unlucky I got pulled. But even if you got pulled, if you didn't get pulled here, you would have gotten poked, and they would have scouted your setup, right?
Yeah.
Which would have meant a good echo is going to do what?
They're just instant stickies.
Instant stickies, right? Instantly forces your bubble, and you're going to have to, and there's your engage. Your engage is cooked, right? So I just think the way that you set up this engage could have been a lot better. That's going to force a really bad bubble. At this point in time, you probably should just go left. That's fine too. But you gotta stay on her. You gotta, if you're jumping the Moira, you know, get the Moira. You just lost her. Okay, there you go, there you go, there you go. Nice. Sniper, 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 sniper. Nice. Not really sniper, but close enough.
Yeah, I'm so sad he didn't die there, but it happens, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. It's tempting to go for that Ramatra. He's trolling. You go. You can go right now. Go right now. You could have gone if you'd wanted to.
Okay. Yeah, because he was pushing around the corner.
Yeah.
I just didn't see anyone, so like I don't know what to do.
Be careful about peeking here too, from a micro perspective as well. So again, the right click is something that you see a lot done a lot by like the Overwatch League Winstons when they're just bored. But it's a very careful habit you have to get into because they get punished for it as well. And another thing that they do as well is they will be poking a tracer, not a soldier. Now, I know you're not poking the soldier here, but you might as well be, right? Because he sees you, right? Do you see him? So, like, you are going to lose more relative HP than even you're going to trade on a squishy. So, I'd rather this than right-click the Ramatra, but it's still probably better that you just don't peek here at all.
Right, just wait for them to, like, push the yank and drop.
Go.
Yeah, bro, should go, yep. Ooh.
You just need to be decisive, because I think you're very indecisive here, like, who to go for.
No.
Just go for the Moira. Just force her fate. Stick with her. Stick with her. Don't even bubble either, right? Like, what did that bubble accomplish?
I feel like I just bubble pen. Oh, this is silly.
Yeah, I don't even need to see this.
But I feel like what happens to me a lot of the time is that I just panic bubble because I've gotten burned by like Ana sleeping me and like nading me and.
But micro.
Yeah.
The micro is that they don't have an Ana.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the stickies as well. But then I think if you look back at this fight here, when you have, 3, 2, 1 Nanofara, and Echo's not on you, I promise you.
No.
You know, I promise you, when you're Nanofara and the Echo's not even thinking about stickying you. So yeah, okay. Macro.
I saw my team was right behind me, and I saw the isolated soldier, so I just jumped on him.
Now let's watch micro. Even if it's just it's honestly fine. I don't know if you need that time to charge it right. I won't give you too much more time. No.
No, again, dude. He's cooking me with those.
Yeah, good target priority, right? Good target priority. Good target priority. Good. Very good. Very good. Stay in the soldier. Very good. Next target. Focus. Probably would have jumped the high there instead. Nice fight. Probably one of your better micro fights so far.
Okay.
And when I say micro, again, it's not just like the mechanics of it. It's also like the targets that you're going for, your right click, your bubble, your ability to focus on one target. This is not so good. Right click. Should be charged, right? One of the first Winston VOD reviews I did in Overwatch 2, if it was not the first, was about always perma-charging right click. And I know that I don't know how many hours you have in Winston compared to other tanks. I assume not as many, but it is very important that you get this as like an automatic response. Let's watch. Good engage. Good.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice. Nicely done. This Ramatra is farming these ultimates. Oh my goodness. I swear he just used it. Fight before last.
I'm not sure what he's like shooting to.
I'm not sure either. I'm not sure. No idea. Okay. You succeeded. Look at their comp.
Yeah.
Congrats. Stop peeking. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Now you right click, right? Because you're gonna win this HP trade, right? Right click this guy. Right click him. Ah! Yeah. I would be charging though. You need to actually charge them, right?
Okay.
And then now is probably a reasonable time to drop, but you need to be very like, okay, so this is where we get super, super, super juicy with the micro, okay? So you're either really focusing on right-clicking Reaper, or you're thinking about setting up your engage, or preferably both. So opt to engage here. The fight's starting. What do you do?
I feel like here I do think I need to like drop bubble immediately because I just
You
get
do. But where do you jump? Who do you jump? When do you jump?
Try to avoid the Reaper.
Well, that's not gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Right? So what do you do?
Maybe just like, I don't know, find someone to just shoot for a little and then leave immediately. I don't know. Because I
mean, they're right here, right?
Yeah.
You could jump on the Moira, instantly force fade. Right? Then what? You need to drop bubble, of course.
Then...
And hopefully you'd have your right click charged in entry.
See, but like I don't know what to do. Like if I go that deep, I don't know where to go because then the Kaz just spooks me out, and then the Reaper catches me.
What can you do to extend your time until you get your jump back again? So you drop bubble, jump on the Moira. Okay. Now what? Where do you go?
Maybe I like run to where my Pharah is.
Yeah. So do this. You go 3, 2, 1. You're gonna right click Reaper a little bit. You go 3, 2, 1. Jump on the Moira. Drop bubble. You're gonna right click, and then the Mercy or Cass, as you're tucking this way. Remember, your bubble will extend you all the way out. He's gonna fan the hammer damage boost 2 times. And it's gonna be gone. But by then, you're already here again. You see that?
Right. Yeah.
Then what do you do from here?
Probably right click to the Reaper as he's inevitably gonna turn for me.
Sure, but then they're gonna push you. They want to kill you. So where do you go?
Yeah. Maybe I jump to where the Mercy is right now. Oh,
Maybe.
but I don't have bubble.
You don't have bubble, right? So what are you gonna do?
Maybe just leave.
You could just leave. You might just jump out this way. You might just jump out this way, bounce off the walls, clonk around, but get back to your supports. Yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I think right now you probably need to jump because that Cassidy, Mercy, whatever they are engaged, you need to be doing something. But if you can't handle jumping a squishy and not dying for it, then your jump is bad.
Yeah.
You're too scared to jump. Use your jump here. Now, I will say that what you're doing is fine, but the irony here is you're more likely to die now than you would if you'd actually committed your jump and focused on moving towards cover.
Right.
You see? A lot of Winstons mess this up. They think that I'm just going to jump in and I'm going to get a kill, and then they don't, and then they go, well, I guess I can never jump as Winston. Well, no, you just always have to be thinking of like an escape route. I jump to here on this target with the intention of either securing the kill or migrating towards cover and then resetting and going again. Right now, you're in serious trouble, right? Like you take as much damage there, your bubble dies as fast if you jump on the squishy, because ironically, you would have lived longer by jumping away from the Reaper and Roadhog, the things that were breaking your bubble anyway. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's hard, but there were many opportunities here.
Freaking orb.
And by the way, that same kind of logic will also apply to D.Va in some circumstances as well there. I wouldn't necessarily be diving backline. You could probably just shoot the Reaper out or whatever, but something to consider.
Yeah,
now you have your primal, but the same thing applies. We want you to maximize your uptime in the backline. Timing.
Here's gonna be tough because like they just I think I played this like very passively for a moment because like I don't know.
But do you need to? Do you need to go in right now compared to what was happening previous fight?
Probably actually because I didn't know maybe it didn't click in my head because like the Reaper is just like
okay. Let's give context right now. Do you have to dive right now?
No.
Right. So your hesitation in comparison to here is much more understandable, right? Because look at the Roadhog. Look at the Cassie shooting a card. Look at your Pharah, right? You needed to go in. In fact, you were very late to go in. Now, look at the aggression with their team, right? You're fine. Just wait. And then if you see Reaper TP,
then I just go like...
You could either go or you could focus the Reaper. Like, it's actually totally up to you, right?
Yeah.
You probably didn't even need to bubble.
No, probably not.
But yeah. Yeah, you definitely didn't need a bubble.
Yeah, I definitely didn't. No.
He overextended. Okay.
I should have been earlier, maybe.
You just need to be decisive. Let's put it this way. You need to be decisive. Yeah. You've done nothing this fight.
Yeah.
Either go, oh crap, I messed up, and use bubble. My Reaper's in. I'm going in with my Reaper.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Or, I messed up. I don't have my bubble yet. They're calling. Don't go in.
Just wait. Yeah.
Just wait. You've messed up. You've messed up. They're going to get the res off, and they have a coal, and you don't have your bubble. You're gonna get your primal force instantly. Don't go in. Just wait. Just wait. Right?
Yeah.
Just sit and wait. And you are in trouble.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's nothing you can really do with this, right? So, good micro in terms of who you're focusing and staying, keep playing your life as well. That was good. Yeah, be decisive. Either in, or you're waiting for the next opportunity. Either one will work. Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, I swap it.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, you know, if you were ever to swap in a situation like that, it makes total sense. Okay, so let's wrap up your Winston micro. Winston, what do you see?
There's a lot to go. I mean, big thing. I mean, right click was like.
Click on pre-engage. Don't brainless on tank. Need to poke squish. Need to poke on dive engage. Right? Okay. What else?
Oh, I mean, there's like a lot of like little things. Like for example, like that thing with like the Moira, and then it's like it's not like a very black and white scenario where like, oh yeah, like, you know, Winston, you like walk forward, you don't commit your jump if you can, you like set up, and then you have your jump to disengage. That's not always true, like we saw there. Like there, I should have just jumped aggressively and then. So, I suppose another thing is like thinking about my timing. Still, like it was good at times, but not on purpose. So. Another thing. I mean, like keep thinking about like where to set up, when to set
How about
up.
this one?
Think of a cover post jump to survive sometime. That makes sense.
Remember that when we were talking about that one jump on the Moira, and you're like, oh, if I dive, I think I'm just gonna die, right? Well, if you're a scrub, yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not a scrub, so shouldn't just be, oh, I jumped in, I guess I died. I used my jump, I guess I died, right?
Right.
Okay. Move on. Diva, you ready?
Yep.
Let's take a look. Micro time. Oh boy. Not gonna win this trade.
No.
Yes, because just like it's just like one of the baits, right? Because you have to consider like it's really not possible for your DPS to like hold this high ground. And the other thing too, as well, is like if you consider your backlines LOS, they can shoot Echo, but they can't shoot the Diva very easily. So you're always gonna lose these trades here. So it's fine to start here, but it's mostly for scouting and not for anything else. You took way too much damage.
Okay, where in hell do you hold here on Diva? I have no clue.
Don't think of it. You're not a static tank. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
This is where your team is fighting. This corner, this choke, this choke. So you could play here, you could play here, you could play here, you could play here, you could play here. It all depends on the circumstance. You tell me, where should you be? Let's say you don't lose as much HP here. Where should you be?
I think like maybe closer to the corner, like there.
Sure, but where you're at right now is not bad, right? Because from this position you can contest high once the fight actually starts. You can contest this choke here, you can contest here, you could dive, you could peel your backline, all sorts of stuff you can do from here, right?
Yeah.
Problem here is, I think, you know, you can't really stop your Ana from getting headshot, but you can stop your Ana from having to worry about you taking as much damage as you did prior to that point.
Right.
And for example, right now, you could be in a better position to either peel with full HP or pressure this Echo out without feeling like you're going to die diving this Echo while your Mercy's getting the res, right? So the big thing was just that your initial positioning was not good. You know, really, it does come back a little bit of the macro in terms of like the timing of your positioning. You lost too much HP, and I mean, you really still have not recovered.
Yeah.
Um, so let's keep watching.
Probably could have been more patient with the missile.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a little bit more focused on your mechanics here as well. And also the melee is more of a burst. It's not necessarily going to increase your DPS either, because remember, like when you melee, like you see missiles come out, but that melee is just the missiles, then resumes damaging afterwards, right? So you do lose DPS outside of the one melee burst, which you do at the finisher.
I feel like it's a bad habit that I developed because it's like, oh, she's like,
It's free damage, right? But it's not free damage.
Well, no, not only that, but it's like, oh, the Echo's like, too close to me, so like whenever she like moves quickly, I just like I lose sight of her, so I just like melee to like sort of reset while still dealing damage. But I probably should just like
sure, get good,
get better. Yeah.
Here's the other thing too. Do you really need to use boosters here?
Not really. No.
I mean, if you think about it, it actually makes your tracking harder, not easier. Because if you look at the range that why do you use boosters in a 1v1?
To either chase, I was gonna say the damage, but it's really not.
I mean, the damage is okay, but it's not like significant enough. So, and it also means that you don't have your boosters to pursue, so or to run away or whatever. So, like right now, is the range that you're at right now effective for your hero?
Yes.
Yes. So all you need to do right now is walk forward, press your missiles, and shoot. And then if you need to boosters to pursue, you can. So this boosters here, along with the melee, totally unnecessary. The micro missiles are really good, but if you're literally even just slightly better there, she dies.
Yeah.
And you could have even used boosters to pursue her around the corner if you'd had them. Good. Nice sleep.
Well, I am pushing my life here.
Yeah, I think pushing your life here, just play around your HP that you have. Like, look at the HP that you have, right? 316. That's okay. Give up. Try again. Because this fight, you guys are actually doing quite well this fight. Like, I think like you guys have you don't have much time to give, but your soldier can kind of touch. You can kind of touch. If nothing else, you can kind of disengage and play the cover here. This is crazy. Yeah. Not playing around your HP well. Remember, your HP snowballs very hard around your matrix and your armor. Target priority here is good. Obviously, like controlling a squishy with baby divas, like really good. Because you can actually kill people with it, so it's always fun.
Oh, this is. I think our Mercy messed this up, but I admit.
Yeah. I think you're okay. I look in this situation here, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure what I would have done. I think maybe controlling backline there would have been better, but
maybe.
Honestly, I think what you did is fine.
Oh, this is silly.
Go next fight. Get out. Don't lose HP. Ha! Skynade.
Yeah. I got scared for a second, but...
Okay, you're trolling.
Yeah.
Macro-wise. You're gonna lose this HP trade. I know you're like, I'm gonna build my ult, but you're gonna build your ult, trust. You know what I'm saying? You don't need this.
It's more so that I don't want to get. I mean, this is like a bad thing still, but like
you don't want to get your team headshot out of the choke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, how would you do this optimally if that was your concern? First off, why are you peeking the last 10 seconds? Look at your matrix. Look at your HP.
Yeah.
Right. So when you go for a pretty reasonable play here, the problem is not so much the play or the timing, but what you set up for that play prior to that, where you should have had at least another 100 HP, at least half more of your matrix, so that you could have gone for this exact same thing. Because you're right, I think that objectively was the fine play, but no, not the way that you did it.
No, I still don't even have my armor back.
Right, because you should be able to play this technically more aggressively than you are still. Good. That's fine. I think the remake is probably fine as well. Like, you guys are in a position where, like, one kill matters so much for you guys, right? Like, as you're seeing right now. Because now you're actually going to be able to walk out of the choke. Whereas their respawn is a mile away. No, not now you're showing with timing. Now you're showing with timing. Your team doesn't need help getting out of the choke, right? All you need to do here is what? Two options.
Go to the diva, honestly.
Or?
Well, Maybe just stay on high ground then. Maybe
Yeah,
scout.
you could just set up and just fly to high ground and just chill. Maybe go back and shoot the diva. But you're basically in a position to do what you would want to be doing better than where you are right now. So you either deal with the fight, or you control backline from high ground, or you control high ground from where you are right now. This is the worst option of the three.
Makes sense.
Because I know what you're doing. It's just not the best way of doing it, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
You're trying to control that backline, but I don't think you did it in the best way possible. So, micro here. You're going for the kill, right? How do you go for this kill?
Keep poking. I get my boosters and then I can commit my missiles. I feel like.
Sure. Here's what you do, okay? You're gonna shoot. You're gonna drop in her face.
Okay.
Pop micro missiles in the matrix.
Okay.
Why would you do that as opposed to missiles here?
Because it's just like better damage.
Right,
like,
better range. Like look at the amount of missiles that are missing right here, even with the splash, right? And the other thing as well with divas, like there's the melee again, right? The thing with diva as well is it's a lot of the time with diva, most of your kills are not going to be sustained slow damage. It's going to be a burst where you catch somebody off guard, right? You could even drop here, shoot to get her around 2/3, half HP, then micro missiles and matrix, so that the life weaver is unable to heal her, and he's going to panic and pull, and then you've won the 1v1. So I think a couple of things wrong here. I think putting yourself in a better position to track on her head, saving your micro missiles, and matrixing and micro missiles at the same time, so you're able to continue to put out pressure, and then also the melee habit that we need to change.
Yeah.
Okay. Seems okay. Maybe a little bit early, but I'm okay with it. Target priority here needs to be Weaver. He should die. He does. Yep. Very nice. I mean, that's what we talked about the burst, right? Like, I think she was already low-ish at the time. Yeah, so she was already about... But you see, it's like 120 HP, you know? And she's just gone, right? Like, you did about 100, 105, 110 damage there in, like, a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Good. Stagger. I honestly think even in ranked you should try and stagger as much as you possibly can. Even if you let her remake, it's like, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily let her remake, but like, it is absolutely brutal.
It is actually something that I kind of.
What's up?
No, it's something that I've been thinking about, but it's tough in comp too because like people just like kill.
Oh yeah. I mean, I get that totally.
But it should better in mind personally. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, trolling a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I suppose I do have my bomb.
Yeah, and you do have hit scan follow up.
True.
I just would be very careful about, once again, stuff like the funny thing, because obviously, like, it's like, oh, she's AFK. But the fact that you were even peeking that in the first place, as uncautiously as you were, is a little bit, just gotta be careful, right? I don't know what your supports are doing, but you're still not healed, so be careful.
Oh.
It's okay.
That's funny.
Ah, no blind missiles.
No.
Like you have, here's the thing is, there's one of two things you're doing in your missiles. You're using them too far at distance, or you're blind boostering in, and just like, right? Like,
yeah.
You know, settle, like find a target, lock a target, blow your missiles.
Yeah.
So much better than what you're doing right now. Like even here, right? I would be very cautious about using your boosters right now. Drop, shoot the on it out, life weaver dashes, it's fine. Just walk over here and go over here, right? Because then you have counterplay for what just happened right there. What if he had done that, right? That's what we want to see here. This is what we want to see with your micro missiles and your melee. Check his HP. like just annihilated, right? That's
Yeah.
better. Get out of here. Unfortunate. That's good. I would do a periphery check right now. I think there's something going. Yeah, right there. Careful about what you're turning your back on. Ah, yeah.
Getting it close.
Yeah. Still a little too much time here, so like you turn your attention to backline, good. I would not even be looking at the diva. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would just be straight up tucking in towards here. Look at the backline, hard look at the backline, right? And then, because again, it's like the attention that it takes, the damage that you get because you're not looking at the echo instead of playing cover. And then another problem is that you've used your boosters for like, what did you use your boosters for? You know, like you just did like a big circle, right? Where would you have stayed instead?
Yeah, there by the mega is.
Yeah, just hide and just wait, you know, or hide underneath or something and just wait. And then you hear that, then you're like, okay, I can either booster peel this guy, or I could booster and try and control backline as best as I can. Let's check this out. This looks good. What'd we say about burst, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't very well mechanically executed, but you had the right idea. You even got the melee, you try to get the melee to finish, which is exactly how you do it. I might have gone and grabbed the Mega here, honestly, or flown to my Ana.
Yeah, I got my resources.
Yeah, you need to get healed here. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Okay. Alright. We're zooming through this pretty fast. Have you have any questions so far?
No. I mean, to get like Winston, there's like a lot to go through, but
Yeah,
it might just be like. I still notice that I need to pay attention to him. I don't know what she's doing.
I don't know either.
But
That being said, careful.
yeah, I'm taking too much damage.
Taking a little too much damage pre-fight, this peak here. That means that you're in an even better position to do this exact same thing, right? You're 450 HP instead of 300. Just be careful. Yep. 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 Now be careful of the Echo. Where's the Echo? Echo top left. There she is. Brilliant. Good. She's super feeding. Oh, he's sleeping. I probably would have gone for the soldier there, but that's okay. That's like one of the weird things where like any other tank and you ignore your soldier and try and trade, but because it's Diva, you can actually keep this guy alive, right? Something to consider. Yep. And then you just control their backline while their Diva gets demacked. Here, don't peek anymore, you need to get out. You see what I'm saying? It's like, even though that Ashe did feed, she's at least feeding in front of your team, whereas you're not, right? That's why this feels like a free kill, but it's not, because it doesn't actually convert, because your team is holding. And the problem is there's nothing your team can really do. This is one of those points in the game where like it's actually really hard for defenders to like push, you know? So you can't expect anything from your backline there. This is a really good position for you to be in. Again, I don't understand this decision from you. I know it's hard for you to see up here, but just sit here and listen and look, peek here, peek here. If you see or hear Ashe here, deal with her. If you don't see here, you can then dive backline once they've actually walked through, right? Again, it's a situation where it feels like she's feeding, but she's just actually not at all. And then ironically, at the same point in time, do you see what happens up top?
Yeah. That doesn't happen if I was just chilling there.
And this is something that, oh jeez. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
This is something that you have struggled with Diva. This was the thing that we started out in that first Ilios review. Awareness of your periphery, controlling the most aggressive offing was that whole game of whack-a-mole. This will be the biggest bomb in history of the universe, I know it. Ah, disaster.
I'm like, yeah.
So here's the thing: when you have weak biceps, and your personal trainer says you need to train your biceps, and you spend a month, 2 months training your biceps, problem's not going to be fixed. Right?
Yeah.
You have a tendency, and it's not just, I wouldn't even say a tendency, it's also just, it's a very, very important skill for all Diva players that probably all Diva players struggle with, right? Don't sweat it. It's okay. But we just need to continually go back and hammer at it again. You have a tendency to be a little bit tunneled and shooting what's in front of you and not being aware of the flanks. And what that leads you to do is take too much damage pre-fight and not control the off angles enough. That is something that we continually need to revisit over and over and over again. But to keep things fresh and interesting, and so it's not so boring, because I know how it is practicing something over and over and over again. It gets really boring. To keep things fresh, we can also see that being a little bit more mindful of how you're using your micro missiles, making sure that you've really like kind of lined them up and not abusing melee spam for no particular reason. Those are some other micro habits that we can work at. You see?
Right.
And that will keep things interesting. A little aggressive.
Yeah.
You're up 1, but your team is still here. So what should you do to sequentially take space? If you wanted to push here, where would you push?
To the high ground in front of me.
And then what would you do from here?
Just count.
Yeah, just check these guys. Okay, we're going. Okay, I'm gonna drop, do my shenanigans here. Maybe even dive the Ana up here, right? Control space, and then you still have your escape routes. Basically, what you've done is you were like, we have an advantage. I'm all inning. If we don't get this advantage, I'm dying for it. Team wasn't able to press W fast enough because they're Widowmaker and Ashe, and so then you just die. And then now we're gonna lose the fight as a result, potentially.
Oh,
nice.
Here, yeah.
Nice, good job. Go ahead.
Well, no, you didn't realize, so I won't say anything.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Now
no.
I'm gonna have to go. You shouldn't have said anything now. Okay, you see the remote. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Oh, see, I was about to. Yeah, that's okay. Nothing happened.
That's
There was
just
no one HP
unfortunate.
Ramatra and Boss Sing say. You're good.
No, it never happened.
Probably would have focused something other than Echo here. The angle itself is good, but just because this guy's a little closer, and then I guess the soldier's not really there, but you could even drop to here. A little bit easier, right? I like the angle that you're controlling here, but it would be more effective for you to do something else. Nice! Get her. Surprised you didn't go for the Echo, just because you see her. Oh, she dies anyway. Well, screw me, man. All right.
Yeah, why am I even getting coached?
I know, right? Seriously, why am I here? No, I think you played this fight reasonably well. Yeah. Let's watch one more. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Good. Take top left. Take it, you coward. Nice. Don't peek. Don't peek.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could have to like sit and chill. Like I know it's hard, but you have to. Too much damage. Good. Very, very nice. Very nice. Stay on the Echo. Stay on her. Nice. There's that burst. Woo! Could use some melee there. Nice, nice, clutch. Okay, so micro with Diva. What are you seeing?
A lot. I feel like, I mean, in that sense, I haven't gone like much better in like any of the aspects that we've touched on in our
That's okay.
last session, which reminds me of like what happened with like my previous coach too, where like, I was hammering like, I get booking sessions, and I already had like the
Right.
fundamentals hammered, but like I was still not improving. So I may be reaching that point again where like I may have to like hold the sessions a little bit for a moment and try to like actually full focus on those.
You need to find out what's kind of plateauing, because right now I don't think you need any more feedback in terms of things to work on, right?
Okay.
You don't need anything new from that. What you do need, though, is you need to find out I mean, you are progressing, right? You hit Grandmaster, for crying out loud, right? So you're
Right.
absolutely progressing. But the question is why are you not able to consistently make progress at the level that you want in the things that you're doing? And that's something that I can give you advice and guidance with, and I already have, but I can't answer that question for you.
Right.
You need to be able to answer that question for yourself. So, but before we get to that, though, so Diva, awareness of teams setup, of enemies' angles. Let's just put it that way. Plus avoiding pre-fight poke, and then I guess the melee missiles thought process, for lack of a better term, right? Mm-hmm. What you're doing with those is just that's a little micro thing. So for you, I don't know, because the thing is like I like there's the difference between you and a top 500 player. You've probably received more coaching than a lot of top 500 players, right?
Yeah.
So the question is, what's the difference between you and a top 500 player? Is it your training? Is it your ability to focus? Is it your desire to improve at this game? Because here's the thing: is like, do you play the game enough to be a top 500 player? Do you play with enough consistency? Do you have enough intensity? Do you have enough? Do you care about it as much? Because with all the knowledge that I have, I don't care. Right? I'm like masters all rules, and that's good enough for me right now.
Yeah.
I really just don't care. I'm not going to put the time in. I'm not going to put the effort in. When I'm playing, 90% of the time it's just me screwing around with like the Patreon guys and just having a good time. Like I am not even practicing at all, right? So it's just not important to me. I do other things that I put emphasis on. So the question for you is, it's like, do you really want this to be something that you want to be good at? And then if so, like what not sacrifices, but what amount of energy are you willing to give? Because even giving Overwatch 1 hour a day of intense focus is tough, right?
Yeah.
Not just playing Overwatch for an hour a day, but giving it good 1 hour of practice, really focusing the sticky notes, giving yourself goals, setting reminders, making sure that you have good training habits, never tilt queuing, solo queuing as much as you possibly can, never playing heroes that aren't in your hero pool, doing it every day. That takes a level of dedication. When I really struggled with rank up back in 2018 until I was playing every day 2 to 3 hours with warm up and everything, and I had specific goals, and I climbed to Grandmaster with that, but it took a lot of work. I wouldn't even say a lot of work in terms of time. It just required me to be very disciplined. And I think for most players, it's either they do that or they just play the game so much that they can't help but get good at it. But not not everybody can do one of those two things. So there's nothing wrong with not being Grandmaster. There's nothing wrong with not being top 500. You are objectively very good at this game, and you have also objectively improved. Yeah. But you may have hit I wouldn't say ceiling, but you may have hit right now a soft ceiling until you decide like whether this is where you're happy with staying or whether you want to keep pushing past. It's up to you.
Yeah, makes sense.
And there's nothing wrong with that, right? I have no desire to be better. In fact, I think I would be more degenerate of me to try and get better at Overwatch than to try and get better at other things. So that's kind of up to you. Make sense?
Yeah.
So I don't know, something to consider. And obviously, if you have any questions,